good evening, everybody. Welcome to Right Side Pride podcast. It is the 6th of August. I'm flying solo today. Angela decided to take a trip south of the border on vacation. Fingers crossed that she brings us back some good souvenirs, some tequila or something good. Do have a special guest with us today, Jungle Jim. A little backstory. I saw his a video that he posted. I saw it yesterday. Not quite sure when he posted it. We'll kind of get into those details, but essentially, and we'll let him explain it here in a bit. But he was looking for some outreach, looking to kind of network a little bit, get some more traction on a project that he has going that he's very passionate about. That we'll put his website up too at the end of this of the show to be able to show what he's all into and kind of what he's trying to do. First off, Jim, if you wouldn't mind, the video that you posted, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about kind of what you were trying to accomplish with that.
So ultimately, man, I'm trying to get public support, public help to build this farm up. It's something that we've been trying for a long time to do. The backstory kind of behind it was my little brother, who was special needs, passed away in 2020. And when he passed away, he loved this farm. He absolutely loved this farm. And we recalled, how much he got out of this farm versus any doctors, any medications, any of that, So y'all go away. Go. Brother, I got a lot of animals, so
You're good. You're good.
There might be a kangaroo jump out behind us in just a minute. Remy, lay down, please. So when he passed away, it solidified a lot of things. But then I kind of woke up, man. I was for many years. My background's law enforcement. I got hurt. Couldn't do law enforcement anymore. Completely disabled. So, but I don't do the whole, I don't collect a disability check or nothing like that. I work here on the farm. I keep this farm going. But with that being said, this is where the whole veterans and first responders and police officers all fit into this farm. But when he died, we really wanted to create something special, because we had this farm. And at one point we wanted to have, here, come on up. Hey, get up here and lay down. Come on, get up here and lay down. He's going to bug me until I let him up. So
you're good.
Come on, get up here. Not you. Not you. But anyways, so we've always wanted like a drive-through safari type thing, and I just didn't like the idea of having everybody in my friggin' house, but when he died, I was lost. I was depressed. But I literally sobered up off of all those medications that I was on for many, many, many years. And in doing so, kind of enlightened, I realized what life is truly about. It's not about the money. It's not about hey, you touch my mic, you touch my stand, we're going to have problems, son. It's not about money or the things that you have. It's not about any of that. It's about the legacy, Like when my brother passed away, there was nobody at his funeral. My brother was kind of a loner. It was just a couple of us family. And so I realized at that moment, that there's so much more to life about than the day to day. So we decided we want to create an amazing place, and we want to gear it towards the special needs because honestly, there's nothing for them. Right. Nobody thinks about the special needs. I just saw a TikTok the other day about a guy. I don't know where he's from, but they were at a concert, and he was a security guard, and he kind of moved a special needs family up towards the front where they could see, get a better view. And his boss lit him up, and this dude ended up getting fired right there. Lost his job. So I'm advocating. I'm one of these people that, well, wait a minute, let's start advocating for some special needs at some of these events. Let's maybe create a little place off to the side that you can still see the stage, you can still interact, but you're safe. The crowd's not going to mob you over, especially if you're in a wheelchair. If you've got, there's people with cerebral palsy that can go to all these things. that they just want to belong. And that's why we're creating this place. But here comes my background in law enforcement. You know, during 9/11, I was in law enforcement, and I lost a lot of my friends after that because a lot of them re-enlisted. A lot of them didn't come home. Those that came home were pretty tore up. You know, we all went our separate ways. But over the years, I hear a passing of one of them here and there and here and there, and suicide, 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 and then so many cops that I know, suicide, suicide, suicide. And now it's our first responders because of the fentanyl epidemic, man. And that's what I was talking about on the news today. Um, we're losing first responders at record rates that nobody's talking about. Everybody talks about the 22 a day. That's very conservative. Very, very
Right.
conservative. When you get around the holiday season, that's going to peak up, 30, 35 a day. And so we're just trying to create a place that our veterans can come out and learn a new trade. Maybe learn how to garden, things that work for me in my PTSD. It may not work for everybody,
Right.
but we're going to try. We don't know unless we try. We've got animals for people to just come out and, hang out with. If somebody's trying, if I've got a veteran that's trying to, start a garden, trying to live healthier, we're going to help him get his own little chicken flock going. We're going to hatch the chickens right here,
Right.
and then boom, they're yours, and we're going to teach you every step of the way, because nobody got to where we're at in life without help. None of us. Nobody walking this earth got through life without help. We all had our parents, our caregivers. Somebody helped us along the way. Well, now we're at a crucial point of where, so many people are turning their backs. And case in point, here in Houston, if you go out and you feed a homeless person, you're going to get cited. Okay,
Right.
that's a law. And I get that. I understand that they're trying to cut down on it. But those people still need help, and they're not getting the resources from those cities. Same thing with
Right.
our veterans. They're not getting the resources that they need, So this is just another out. I've got a friend that he's a veteran, and he's dealing with some pretty bad stuff. He got messed up pretty bad in a vehicular over in Afghanistan. And he was in some pain program at the VA. And even though he has a card in the state of Texas for compassionate cannabis, they kicked him out of the program because federally it's still. So that's the kind of stuff that, why I want to put this out here. That's why I want to do this, and ultimately, unlike a lot of nonprofits, this is a farm. Hey, come on up. Don't chew my boot, please. It's not going to be like a lot of nonprofits. We're going to do things. We're going to have an online store so people can come on and shop the products that we make on the farm. Like next year, once we get up and going, we're going to have soaps and lotions made from goat's milk. We're going to have different things that we can produce here on the farm. We're going to have projects. We're going to make birdhouses, maybe, so many different things, so many different possibilities that I haven't thought of yet, So we just want to create something that, in another sense, is, let's say somebody comes to us from the community. And I don't know what chickens are running out there in San Antonio, but here they're probably around between $7 and $10 a bird for a chick.
Wow.
So if we got somebody that can't afford that, I mean, you get 10 birds, from a store. By the time you get them home next day, you got 8 birds or 5 birds or whatever, and there's half of your money at $7 a bird. That's $70. So if we've got a family, a special needs family that wants to start them, boom, we're gonna have them here to do it every single week.
Is there kind of an age range that you're geared to, or is it kind of are you open to just all ages, everybody? Anybody who.
The thing with the special needs, and I was talking about this through a couple of videos. This is not going to be a camp. This is going to be more of a, how should I say, a retreat that a family can come to for the day. And I want families more so than I want groups, if this makes any sense. Whenever daycares call me up and they want to come out and they want to do a field trip, that's fine. I'm going to charge them because they're making money. Okay.
Right.
So for us to keep this farm going and to make this farm absolutely free for our special needs, for our veterans, for our first responders, we're going to charge people. You know, not everybody. Our, like I said, our veterans, our first responders, it's all going to be
Right.
free. But we will have workshop days 4 times a month that the public can sign up and come out.
Mhm.
And when they come out, they'll come and work on work around the farm. They'll work in the garden, the greenhouse, whatever it may be. And then we'll also have special needs adults working on the farm that day. Now, their job's not going to be pick up a rake or nothing like that. Their job's going to be
Right.
just communicate, talk. That's what we want. We want interpersonal. We want people to communicate better. And what better way for people to learn about our farm than having some of our adults that are out here and they're loving what they're doing.
Right.
So, and on that, we're going to pay them, and we're going to pay them in cash because we're not messing with anybody's disability insurance.
Right.
This is. I've thought this thing through so many times of how I want to do this, and ultimately, the way this is going to be set up, this is going to our children. This is going into a trust. It's going to our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, whoever's alive while we're alive, and this is who it's going to, and they will keep it going.
What types of animals do you have out there?
So currently we've got just your regular farm animals, right? We've got cows and a couple of mini horses, some donkeys, chickens, goats. But then we get some exotics. We've got some tortoises, and we're going to have a lot of tortoises. Kangaroos currently. We've got some exotic raccoons. We plan to add a little bit to it, but here's the problem. We have to maintain safety, right? So in doing that, like I want to put it, I was thinking, here's one of my thoughts, put it in like a little aviary, a little flight for people to go into. And you've probably seen them at some of the little like drive-through safaris and stuff like that. You walk in with a little stick, it's got some peanut butter and some seed on it. And that's going to help with sensories. The kid comes in, if they, it's going to help them be calmed down whenever, but that's not going to be for everybody. We're going to have a place to fish. Anybody that wants to fish, they're more than welcome to fish. We're going to have a place to camp for our special needs. And that's like overnight camping, man, or they want to stay for the weekend. We're going to put some, and this is Texas. Y'all know it as well as I do. The weather's hot. No matter where you live, it's hot. Just the difference is the humidity.
Right.
So being it's that we're South Texas, we're on the Gulf Coast. It's hot, it's humid almost all year round. We're going to put some mini splits out into the tents, the sleeping tents, in order to keep it somewhat regulated out there. We're going to actually put in some cabins eventually. This is all going to depend on how much money we're able to bring in.
Right.
Because I'll tell you right now, brother, I'm not going to lie to you. I have spent as much as I can spend out of I'm doing good to keep my lights on. So this is why we're reaching out to the community.
No, and that's one of the reasons. What really caught my attention was the fact that you're opening it up to the veterans, to the special needs, first responders, anybody who may have any kind of need really for the therapy. Because it does come down to that therapy and just needing that, something that you can't get from human interaction, and sometimes they're just, what's that?
I told you he was going to sit on me.
Well, but yeah, there's just something about an animal that kind of brings out more so than talking to a human, one-to-one. And I think that's, being able to do that right there, just kind of hang out with the kangaroo, hang out with, go pet a cow, whatever the case may be, just something to give them that kind of just relaxation, to be honest, out in the country,
Yeah. And the cool thing is that we're close enough to this. We're in the country, but we're close to the city. We're close enough to the city that I can get DoorDash. I mean, I can get Instacart if I need. So it makes it easy. And the one thing I never want, and that's why we're setting this farm up the way that we're doing it. The city's trying to move out. It doesn't matter where you live. If you're in the country, the city's always trying to move out. We're expanding. Texas is a very culturally diverse state, and I absolutely love that about it. You know, and so the expansion, the city's like literally closing in around us. So that's why I wanted to kind of create this little farm and create it the way I'm creating it, because eventually the city's going to completely surround us, and we'll
Yeah.
be right in the middle of it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely do, anything on our end that we can to get the word out to, any other resources that are out there. I have a friend here locally that that just got a marketing position with the San Antonio Zoo, so that's another thing I can,
Oh, that's
definitely
so.
reach out to him, chat with him about it, maybe you know, get y'all in contact with each other, just anything to be able um, to help.
One thing I do want to do out here that's really cool, and not so many people know it out here because it's not so much out here recognized as it is, like in Austin and San Antonio, is the bats.
Mhm.
We have a huge wild bat population out here, and I'm going to build a bat house, and I'm going to build a massive bat house. I want to build one to hold approximately 200,000 bats.
Mhm.
And from the research I've done, that's approximately 10 by 10, 10 foot by 10 foot.
Mhm.
And just because so many homes are going in around us and we're losing that natural habitat. Like literally, they're putting in a neighborhood right behind me, different county, different city, and they bulldozed down probably a 200-year-old live oak tree. And that around here is where the bats sleep. It's
Right.
because those are in a natural forest. They're usually right in the middle of them. They don't move too much in the storms and stuff. That's where the bats love to go. And so when they wiped that out, we lost most of our bats. We were out the other night, probably about 2 dozen bats were out here. It was great. It was cool to see. But we want to actually do that out here. So there might be somebody in San Antonio that could help us out with something like that.
Absolutely. And what city were you in again?
We're in Alvin, so
Alvin.
believe it or not, it's where we're at. We're north of Alvin. We're south of Pearland. I mean, we're
Okay.
probably 20 minutes outside of Houston.
Okay. Yeah, I'll actually be up in that area beginning of September. We have a big softball tournament out there. I'll be out in that area for about a week.
Okay, hit me
But
up.
absolutely, absolutely, I have your phone number. Again, definitely want to get as many resources out here that can help over there.
Yeah.
And see.
JungleGemsFarm.org is our website. Please go if you have the ability to donate. Donate. If you you know share it with somebody, especially if you know anybody with special needs.
Yeah.
When we started the idea for this farm years ago, you know, we had just started having grandchildren. Now we're having grandchildren that are probably getting ready to go get tested for autism spectrum.
Mhm.
You know, so and that's okay because we know based off the numbers don't lie. You know,
Right.
the the likelihood of us having a grandchild born on the autism spectrum is very very high. So, yeah, this is for my family too.
Absolutely. Love what you're doing out there. Like we'll definitely work on our end. We'll get this video up, get you the link once I get it all edited and get all the information on there.
Yeah,
And we'll put it everywhere. We'll get it shared, we'll get the word out there, and definitely want to get you as much help as possible. Love the message, love the idea behind it. Um, Anything we can do, for not just for the special needs, but for our first responders, for our veterans who have
yeah.
put their lives on the line.
We have a big fundraiser coming up in October down here. So, and you're gonna be gone by then, but we're actually gonna be out at Bayou Wildlife over here in Alvin. It's a drive-through safari. The lady that
Mhm.
owns it, absolutely amazing. Believe it or not, she's actually the vice president of the nonprofit.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, and so our nonprofit, the board of directors is 4 women
Hmm.
because this is all I throw out the ideas. They're the ones that tell me no. No, you can't do this now. No, you
Right.
can't. Or yes, you can do because I know based off of me. I have ADHD. My brain goes 10,000 miles an hour, and I picked 4 women that have no problems telling me no. Okay, because seriously, man, I would spend every dime that this
Yeah.
nonprofit has just to build stuff up out here.
Right.
We would be literally on a deficit if it wasn't for those women.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things I want to do out here. But it all comes down to money.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's got to be done in a strategic way.
Yeah.
So good that they're keeping you in line.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do appreciate your time. We'll definitely, like I said, we'll get the message out there to anybody listening and watching us here. We'll put your website up there, your email address, all that good stuff. Let anybody reach out, if they do have any kind of information, any resources, anything that we can do. Absolutely. And if you don't mind, I'd like to follow up periodically just to kind of see how things are going and
Love that, man. I got you.
again, continue to touch base with you. And when I'm out there, would love to come by and see, see the place and kind of pet a kangaroo,
Bro, you love it. It's you got it. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. It's not what you're gonna expect. You're gonna expect something totally different than what you feel.
I definitely look forward to it. And maybe when I'm down there, we can do a live session there. Kind of take folks around, let them take a look, and again get the word out there and
Yeah,
see what we can how we can
definitely.
help you out.
Hopefully by then we should have some construction done around here.
Awesome. I definitely look forward to it. Again, this is Jungle Gym. First off, how'd you come up with that name?
It's my brother. We years ago, my wife started a petting zoo called Jim's Jungle Petting Zoo.
Okay.
And we were sitting around one day, my brother and I were just hanging out, and he kept calling me, kept just messing with me, just being a brother. He kept calling me Jungle Jim, just thinking it would irritate me, and it stuck, and that's why we're doing Jungle Jim's farm,
Awesome.
just sticking with the whole thing.
It's a great way to remember him as well.
No,
That's
he was he was awesome, brother. He was awesome.
it's really awesome. Again, I want to thank Jungle Jim for coming on with us today. We'll have all the info at the end of this segment, website, all that good stuff. Please visit. Like he said, if you can donate. We'll keep in touch with him and the organization, and like I said, hopefully help out any way we can. And yeah, any final thoughts or anything you'd like to wrap up with?
Well, I mean, if you have TikTok, follow me on TikTok, Jungle Gym 2020. We're going to be doing the whole build process here on TikTok. People are going to be taking it. I'll be honest with you, the other social medias don't like me too much. We'll be posting on there as well, Facebook, Instagram. We have one over on X. We're going to be posting some of it, but mainly on TikTok. The build's mainly going to be on TikTok. That's where we've gotten the most traction so far. So we're going to do most of the building over there. And people will actually see where their donations are going to. They'll see firsthand what's going to happen out here.
Sounds good. We'll get all that information posted here. And again, definitely appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely be in contact with you and see if we can get you help any way we can on our side.
Appreciate
All
you,
right.
brother. God bless you, man.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we're just speaking with Jim, and he again, we're looking forward to helping him out and being able to get them any support that they can get or that we can get for them. If you have any questions, everything will be posted at the end of this segment. And as Angela always says, be good humans.